I just had the worst, most awkward, terrible Tinder date of my life. And I just need to like talk about it real quick because this is insane. So I started talking to this guy literally today. We matched on Tinder today and he was messaging me and like was pretty adamant. Like I didn't answer him at first and then like he messaged me again. So I was like, whatever, like I'll give him a chance. Like, sure. So he's messaging me and basically is like, oh, like add me on Snapchat. I deleted my Snapchat and my Instagram. Long story, but I basically was like, oh, I don't have Snapchat. Like, you can text me. So I gave him my number and he starts texting me. And basically, off the bat, he's like, I really want to see you. Like, what are you doing later? Like, let's go to the movies. Let's go on a date. And like, he seemed so nice. He was so cute. On his Tinder bio, it said he was in finance. He's 6 feet. He had a bunch of pictures. He was like verified. So, real person. Like, I was like, okay, like, sure, let's go on a date. And he sent me like this movie and everything. And basically, I was like, yeah, like, I'm down. Like, let's do it. And he was like, awesome. Like, bought the tickets. Like, I'll see you tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then we're planning out, like, when we wanted to meet, if we wanted to meet, like, prior. All this stuff. We talked, like, all day, basically. And so it finally came to, like, before we were going. And he tells me that his car is in the shop and he has to Uber. And it would be really nice if I wanted to pick him up. Instant fucking red flag. I should have just ran then. Don't know why I didn't. I was already in deep enough. I was just like, yeah, no, like, we should just meet there, like, just Uber. So he's like, fine with that, whatever. So he Ubers there, I'm driving, and he gets there like a few minutes before me. So I call him when I pull in. I'm like, hey, I just got here. We got there like an hour early because we wanted to meet up and like talk and stuff before. I wanted to like get to know him because when you're at a movie, you can't talk and get to know the person. I'm so stupid for all of this. In hindsight, like I see this now. Anyway, I call him. I'm like, oh, like, do you want to like come in my car and like we can like hang out in here and like talk before the movie or whatever? And he's like, yeah, sure. Like, I'll come out, just park wherever. Thank God I park literally right front and center, like under the lights. There's people outside. There's people in their cars. Like, so I'm parked right front and center. He gets in my car. And like all is like fine and we're talking whatever, and I basically like had to tell him. So before I left my house, I realized I had a cold sore on my lip, whatever. Like, a lot of people get them. I've gotten them ever since I was a little kid. I don't know, but I know they're contagious and I know it's basically herpes or whatever. So I had to tell him, and it was like the worst thing to have to tell someone on a first date. And I was so nervous, I was so scared. And I'm like, if you want to leave now, like, if you're all set, like, I get it, like, don't worry. I was like, I swear I don't have any other diseases. Like, this is it. I have a cold sore and I have to tell you because, like, yeah, like, if we kiss, you know, like, obviously we can't. And he's like laughing. He's like, you're so cute. He's like, no, like, I don't care. I actually just got over one myself. Like, it's fine. Like, I want to kiss you. And I was like, oh, like, okay. I was like, your choice, you know? And he's like, can I kiss you? And I was like, sure. Mind you, we literally were only talking for like 5 minutes, not even. Anyways, starts kissing me, keeps kissing me, and like grabs my leg, and I'm like, oh God, like, okay, this is not like, not what I imagined. So I kind of pull away. I started a different conversation. We started talking. He's just acting like really weird. Like, he was like kind of annoyed that I like pulled out of the kiss. And so I asked him, like, oh, like, what happened to your car? Like, why is it in the shop? And he starts being so weird and like moving around. He's like, yeah, like, actually, it's really embarrassing. I lost my license on the 4th of July. I got a DUI, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, like, in my head, I'm like, okay, this guy already lied to me about something like this. Like, this is just, I already have awful vibes about this. Anyways, we get over that and he just keeps like wanting to make out and like kiss, and I'm like, like, I just feel like I have to. Like, it was a really awkward situation. And then he starts grabbing my hand and putting it, I'm sure you can guess where. And I basically had to pull away and like tell him, like, I just want to like get this out of the way now. I'm not trying to do all that, you know, like, no. And his whole demeanor changed. He completely changes, and he's basically tells me like that's all he wanted. Like, that's why he came tonight. That's why he did all this, because he was expecting that. And I like had to tell him no, like, sorry. And before this too, he was telling me that I should move parking spots or whatever, and I wouldn't. And even after me telling him that I'm not doing all that, he still kept trying to get me to move my car to like the back of the theater where it's like completely dark, and he's just acting really off and really weird. And instantly I'm just getting like awful vibes. Like, I'm just like, and then he starts like gaslighting me, telling me that I led him on. Huh? Like, I'm so sorry for agreeing to go to the movies with you and I wouldn't pick you up. Like, I didn't even argue with him, because I'm like, if I get this man angry, like, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, thank God I'm right in front of the theater under the lights and like there's people around. So, but he was like making jokes too, because like I had a nice car. He's like, because I kept saying like, oh, like, I hope you don't kill me. Like, I hope you're not a murderer. And he's like, yeah, I could like literally kill you right now and like take your car. Like, you have a nice car, blah, blah. And like, I don't know, maybe it was just jokes, like, because I was joking about it, but it felt really off to me. And you could tell he was like really pissed off and he kept trying to get me to like want to do stuff with him, and like he was like, oh, like maybe we can still go see the movie. Mind you, I did check before I went, and we would have been the only two people in that movie. Like, I had awful vibes. I was like, no. I'm like, I don't want to waste your time. Like, your time's valuable. And he's like sulking. He's like, my time's not valuable. Like, I'm like, okay, you clearly are a psychopath, and you clearly have no self-esteem, and you probably will just kill me. Like, I don't even know if I can post this, because I can't say all this stuff. Whatever, I'm posting it. But yeah, so basically I started crying and was just trying to make him feel as bad as possible, because I'm like, I don't want this guy to kill me right now. Like, he was being really weird. Like, there's so much I could explain, but I had so many red flags. Thank God I had my like smarts about me, and whatever, like, this could have ended so much worse. He basically was like, oh, like, will you at least wait for me, like, my Uber to get here? And I was like, yeah, like, sure. Like, I'm not gonna like piss you off anymore. Like, his Uber got there, and like, whatever, he's gone. I'm low-key kind of scared. I'm like, is there a tracker in my car? Is there something? Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna pray all is fine, I'm okay. But if I wake up dead tomorrow, y'all know what happened. But I shouldn't even joke like that. But anyway, I'm never going on another date again, and that's just that. Sorry, he ruined it for everyone. Okay, good night, bye. I'm happy to be alive.
This was the worst Tinder date story. Oh my goodness, I'm glad you made it out safe and alive. It just seems like this gentleman was just lying on top of lying, and there were so many points to turn around. When you hear the first red flag, maybe that's the indication that this needs to stop. Because cold sores, the not having a car, I understand things happen, but you lied about the way the car was not with you. DUI, that means you can't control your liquor, and you make like very bad, poor choices when it comes to like safety. So I don't know, this just seems like a mess. I probably would have stopped when he asked me to pick you up. So what about you? Would you have went on the Tinder date to see how it went, or would you have cut it off earlier on? Put it in the comment section below.